Welcome, folks. So today we're going to learn about the Australian Bigfoot-Sasquatch, known as the Yowie. And in this series of videos, we're going to work our way across the globe from Australia to see the history of the Bigfoot-Sasquatch creatures in the countries all around the world. So let's know a little about the wild man of Australia, the Yowie. Okay, so here we go. So it's from the Yawalari, or Yowie, which means dream spirit, listed in old Aboriginal glossaries as ghost or dream spirit. Variations of the term have been used along the New South Wales coast since the 1930s. The Mulgua and Buraguran peoples referred to the hairy giants as Yowies in the 1960s. Variant names: Australian bush ape, Boogaloo in Tasmania, Dulugi, Gooliga in New South Wales, hairy man, Jingara, Kailokaran, Makurankura, Mulawunk, Mumege, Nukuna, Kinking, Yahoo, similar to the internet Yahoo, Yaruma, Yaure, Yuri, and Yowie. Physical description: powerful, thick-set build. Most common height 5 to 7 feet. 8 to 9 feet height is frequently reported, and 10 to 11 feet height is occasionally reported. Covered in brown, tan, white, grey or black hair. Black skin, dome-shaped head, flat face. Minimal forehead and chin. Yellow or red eyes are deeply set. 2 large canine teeth. No neck. Broad back with huge shoulders. Yeah, these Bigfoot-Sasquatch creatures, folks, definitely have huge shoulders. And that's another thing in all these hoaxes, in all these suits that people try and replicate, you can't replicate the bloody. If you see a little a suit, someone in a suit without huge shoulders, come on, it's obvious. Breasts not reported. Arms reach almost to the ankles. Arm hair is long and shaggy. Sharp nails or claws. Spindly legs with calf short in proportion to thigh. Feet 18 inches long. Aboriginal legends have them turned backwards. Toes are long in proportion to foot. Their behavior: nocturnal, solitary, shuffling gait. Juveniles climb trees. We've heard that before in America. Screams, growls and grunts. Overpowering stench. Dogs seem particularly afraid of him. Can use a stick. Yeah, this Sasquatch and dogs. It's very interesting to me. In all these accounts all over the world, dogs cower when they're around. Tracks. Handprints show a semi-opposable thumb and a little finger. Footprints often show only 3 to 4 toes, each about 5 inches long, with no trace of an opposed big toe. Sizes and shapes vary widely. And again, folks, what I just read there is exactly what's accounted in other areas around the world. Habitat: mountains and scrubland. Their distribution: primarily the eastern coastal mountains from southern Queensland to northern Victoria. Significant sightings: an animal with a human face and feet turned backward was known to the Aborigines in 1847. George Osborne allegedly saw an ape-like animal climb out of a tree and run away on all fours near Avondale. And there you go again, folks. All fours. These creatures have the ability to go on all fours, as we've heard in countless encounter stories. It was covered in black hair except for a tan streak from neck to abdomen, and it had feet like an iguana's. William and Joseph Webb shot at a yowie near Flat Creek in the Brindella Range, New South Wales, in about 1885. Its head was set deep between its shoulders, and it was bellowing deeply. They didn't know whether they hit it because it ran away as soon as the gun went off. Its tracks were human-like, with spreading toes and a long stride. George Summerall rode up close to a grey-haired yowie that was drinking from a creek near Crewa, New South Wales, on October 12, 1912. Australian poet and bushman Sidney Wheeler Jepcott visited the spot the next day and was able to make plaster casts of a hand and footprints. On August 7, 1970, Rex Gilroy was eating lunch in a clearing near the ruined Castle Rock Formation in the Blue Mountains, New South Wales, when a man-sized ape-like creature with orange hair ran across his open ground and gave out a scream. Alan Richards and his sister saw a 9-foot yowie staring at them near Killawarra, New South Wales in 1974. It stepped over a 4-foot fence without breaking stride. I've heard that before many times, folks. On August 10th, 1977, in Woodenbaugh, Queensland, a woman was awakened by hearing her dog yelping and a high-pitched screaming outside. Only about 5 feet away from her back door, she saw a bad-smelling, ape-like creature covered with brownish hair holding her dog tightly to its chest. When it saw her, it dropped the dog and backed away, watching her intently. It made some deep grunts and then ran out into the street, its arms hanging loose. The witness said it was 6 feet tall with a small head, broad chest, narrow hips and strong legs. Its hair was closely cropped except on its arms and shoulders. She had to wash her dog with antiseptic to get the smell out. Her husband heard the grunts and neighbours heard the barking. One footprint, 8.5 inches long and slightly over 4 inches wide at the toes, remained, along with 3 strands of long reddish hair on the fence post. 20 students, one of whom later became a senator, at Kunjawarra campgrounds near Springbok, Queensland, saw a 9-foot yowie approach their cabin several times on October 22nd to 23rd, 1977. It ripped 3-foot tall scrubs out of the dry ground with ease. One time they watched it through the binoculars, and on another occasion it came within 30 feet of their sleeping quarters. Trapezoidal footprints were found, longer than 13 inches, very narrow at the heel, and more than 7 inches wide at the toes. Other incidents were reported in the same area for the next 5 months. Warren Christensen and Tony Solano ran into a 9-foot yowie while hunting pigs at Sandy Creek near Kilcoy, Queensland, on December 28, 1979. After shooting at it, they found 3-toed tracks that were 19 inches long and 6 inches wide. At 2 a.m. on January 2nd, 1987, Stella Donahue and Bill Johnson woke up at their campsite to see an 8-foot ape standing waist deep in the water at Lake Dulverton, Tasmania. On January 22nd, 1995, 2 boys saw an 8 to 9 foot yowie walking along a road bordering the Ballingarra State Forest, southwest of Kempsey, New South Wales. It was massive and looked in between a human and a gorilla. 16 footprints, 11.8 inches long and 7 inches wide, were found at the spot 2 weeks later. Yeah, so interesting, folks, huh? Some good encounter stories of the yowie there, and the information it mirrors what people have said about these creatures, reported about these creatures in the US, Canada, Russia, Europe, everywhere. They're everywhere, folks. And the woman had to wash her dog with antiseptic to get the stench off. It's these the Bigfoot-Sasquatch creatures, they can let off a pungent smell, and it's not always they do it. I believe it, and from listening to the stories and what some people theorize is that they, when they get excited, or when maybe when they're in fear, or they secrete some uh, hormone, that just absolutely stinks. So, oh, interesting. So, in the next video, I think we'll delve into the famous abominable snowman, or Yeti. But yeah, it's very very interesting. I was looking at some purported Bigfoot Sasquatch photos that some Bigfoot researchers had took, and you'll know what I mean when I say this, folks. It's I mean no offense, but most photos you see, you get excited, and then it comes up, and it's the ones. It's like a blob squatch. It's like a picture of a shrub, a tree with leaves and bushes, and for me, I'm like, where is this Sasquatch? Uh, It just reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. Any you Seinfeld fans out there? The one where Kramer he has this painting. You know those paintings where you have to really concentrate and focus. Until you do that, you won't see anything. But when you focus, you suddenly see it. It comes out. And in that episode, I think Elaine's boss, Mr. Pitt, is going crazy because he cannot see it. He's concentrating, he cannot see it. And that just reminded me of these photos, these blob squatches, when I'm just looking at these trees and bushes, and I'm like, where is the Sasquatch? But I'm sure if I lived somewhere that had these creatures, in the woods and stuff, I would be out there trying to find them. And if I took a photo and I came home one night and looked at it on my computer and said, that kind of looks like, yeah, I can see that. That kind of looks like a Sasquatch. I would probably do the same as these people, because But then again, we humans, we have, I forget the name of it, but we do put not human, but we do put shapes to everything. If you look at the clouds, if you look at wood grain, you see shapes, and so it's just an observation I made, folks. But hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, next time we will look at the Yeti, the abominable snowman. So, folks, catch you next time. Bye for now.